Good morning, everybody. Hope y'all are doing well, staying safe, staying blessed out there. And obviously, we're back at the homestead and chilling out. Taking the dog. Hey, don't drink out of there. Shh. Sorry, it looked like an old concrete mixing thing, so I don't want to let him drink out of it and get toxins in his system. Anyways, so update is there's one of these poles I gotta move because I placed it just a tad too far away. So we'll go over there and we'll go show you that one. This is where the front half of the RV is gonna go. So it's gonna go right here. And then here is the pole. As you can see, the fencing doesn't quite stretch, or the fencing that we have doesn't quite stretch to there. So probably going to take the pole from here and move it right about here. And then when I get the next section of fencing, it'll just like have a bigger gap, and that's okay. It's all right. Oh, we got the zoomies. The dogs are having fun. And then it looks like Mom and Dad pulled out another one of the cholla and whatnot. So yesterday was a bit of a, yesterday and the day before were a bit of an adventure. I got all the way up to New Mexico, and just as I get to that first rest area from Texas side, so Texas to New Mexico, you see that first rest area right as you cross in. I pulled into there because my def was showing that it was low. So I pulled in there and I took the 2 cans that I had, 2 jugs, whatever, cans, jugs, no matter. And I filled the def. So that was 5 gallons of def that I put into the truck. And I figured that would be enough to make it all the way back to the Kingman yard. And the minute that I put it in and I went to go throw the jugs away in the container in the trash can, and then I come back to the truck, I noticed I had a blue light saying poor quality def. So I knew my truck was going to go into Derate. I didn't know how long it was going to take, but I knew it was going to do it. And no, I could not force a regen. My truck won't allow me to do that. I've tried God knows how many times. And of course, the mechanics wanted me to try that as well, which I did. So we get to Tucumcari, we swap trailers with another driver like we were intended to do, and we fuel up and start heading towards Kingman again. And we get past Santa Rosa, maybe about an hour past Santa Rosa, and the truck went into Derate. Also, I do have these pallets my parents got for free, and we're going to use them to, or I'm going to use them to go ahead and make a shed for the power. So I'll be doing that. Not today, because I am going back to work tomorrow. I only took a day off. So, hey, stop eating sticks. Let's keep walking. Come on, keep walking. And, where were we? So truck goes in Derate a little bit past Santa Rosa, and so I pull over to the truck parking area about mile marker 218, give or take, and I take the dogs out for a 10-minute walk while the truck sits in the off position. You know, I figured I'd give it some time to reset and whatnot. So I turn it off, turn it back on, and it's still derated to 55. So I attempt to do what road service had told me to do, and I attempt to put it into a manual regen. And of course the truck tells me no manual regen allowed because it's already derated. So I tell road service everything. They're like, okay, go ahead, and the closest thing to you is the TA in Moriarty. Go ahead and push forward to Moriarty and go take it to the TA and get it in the shop. So that's what I do. Go to Moriarty, which is where I was planning to stop for the day anyways, because had about 3 hours on my clock when I got there, which I know that's a lot of hours. I could have gone further, but at 55 miles an hour, you're not going to get much further past Albuquerque, and we're not allowed to stop at casinos. So my options for parking were either park in Mayority or make it all the way to Milan. And at 55 miles an hour, that would have been cutting it close to the end of my clock. So I didn't want to risk that. So we stopped in Mayority at the TA like we were supposed to. Got the truck in the shop, which got there about 6:30-ish and did not get out of the shop until 11:30-ish, give or take. Spud, Sarah, come this way. And so they did the first regen they forced. They forced both of them, but first regen goes about 45 minutes, just about how it's supposed to. And the second regen, he started and it just kept going. And about 11 o'clock, he comes to check on it. And the minute he opens my door, the regen stops. And apparently it was because his computer crashed. And so he turns the truck off and restarts his computer, gets it booted up from the crash, and turns the truck on and restarts, and the codes went away. Everything looked good. So we thought the problem was fixed because his side was showing no issues. My side was showing no issues. So he unplugs, says, meet me inside in a couple of minutes and we'll get your paperwork and you can be on your way. And so I go inside, sign the paperwork. We chuckle about it, about the computer crash fixing the truck. And then I hook back up to the trailer and, finish out my 10-hour break, which was, yes, it was a lot longer than a 10-hour break, but I was tired after having sat in the shop for a little while. So yeah, we got that fixed, and that fix only lasted 3 hours once I actually got on the road. I did not have the engine idling all night. Thank God, because we would have been in the shop again. But Sarah, too far. Oh, you're taking a, okay. That's all right. So we get 3 hours down the road, almost to the New Mexico-Arizona line, because that's the direction we were heading. And truck goes into Derate, 55 miles an hour again. And I pull into the rest area. Do not turn the truck off. This is very important for this story. I did not turn the truck off. And the shop tells me, do not turn the truck off, whatever you do, because it will go into the further Derate. And if you do that, we're going to have to send some help out to you. So I don't turn it off, and they tell me to start heading back towards Kingman. And if it goes into a further Derate, that there's the TA in Holbrook that I could stop at to get it repaired, because that was my next closest, because like I said, I was at the rest area in Arizona, the first rest area. And what are you eating? So at any rate, that's what happened. And so we drove 55 miles an hour all the way back to the yard, and I pull into the yard, and the def line is right above red on my truck, and the fuel is getting low. So, well, it didn't matter that the fuel was low or not, because whenever you come into the yard, you have to fuel the truck and the trailer. So fuel the truck, fuel the trailer, and I turned the truck off so that I could do that, because I don't like to fuel with the engine running. I know you can in a diesel engine. I just don't like to. So I fuel, and when I turned my truck back on after having fueled, the truck goes into a 5-mile-an-hour derate, which is the second level. So pull into the shop, and I let them know. I was like, hey, do you want me to turn the truck off? Because we're supposed to turn it off in there. I was like, do you want me to turn the truck off because it's derated to 5 miles an hour and I don't want to make it worse? And he's like, let me go ask the shop foreman. And shop foreman comes over, and apparently what they heard when I talked to him was it's in a regen right now, and I don't want to shut it off. That's not what I said, but it's okay. It's okay. That was lost in translation. Apparently, I need to learn how to talk a little bit more clear. So he comes over and he's like, oh, if this happens, you can do this. So he tells me, turn the truck off, and then he went and switched the master power off and back on. And he's like, if you do that, usually it clears the problems. Go ahead and turn the truck back on, and guess what? The lights are still there. So, and it's at 5-mile-an-hour derate. So they had me drop the trailer in the shop because the other driver that was taking it to final destination was already there and waiting for me because I had taken so long, which nothing I could do about that. Granted, I was going 55 mile an hour, and the fact that I had been in the shop the night prior, so I slept a little longer, which I'm sorry, but sometimes you're just tired after having been in the shop. And I really only slept for like 6 hours, so it's not like I was intentionally taking my time. Sarah, come here. Come on. At any rate, so the truck is in the shop today. They're going to get the issue fixed. And I was talking to my mentor, who's still working at Prime and fully owns his truck now. And he thinks the issue may have been that my def level is not being correctly portrayed, and that the flapper or whatever it is that shows how much def there is or senses how much def there is getting stuck. And I'm inclined to believe him because when they filled the def up, because they fill the def up at the yard when you come into inbound or outbound if you ask them to, they put 17 gallons in, and I'm pretty sure it's a 20-gallon tank. So they put 17 gallons in, and when they finally let me out of the shop, I turned the truck on, and it was stuck at a quarter tank. And I know that they just filled it up because, it went all the way until it clicked. So, yeah, it's I'm inclined to believe that he's right. And it did eventually show that it was a full tank, but they're probably going to check it and find out that that's the issue. Although it may have been the poor quality def, because I did buy the def jugs from Walmart. But here's the thing, guys. Like, if I'm away from the yard, we can't fuel def at the Loves or Flying J or anything like that. Our fuel card is not open to do that. Our fuel card is open only for us to put fuel for the truck and trailer, not for def. So, and I've asked before, that first trip where I went and got stuck in the shop at Dallas, that was because of the same issue. I had to put def from the truck stop. I had bought the jugs of def from the truck stop, and that had caused the issue that we were down in the shop in Dallas. And that was about a month and a half ago, wasn't it? I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at the video. I think it was 3 weeks to a month. Something like that. Anyways, so this is the second time it's happened, and I'm inclined to believe that maybe it's partially that it's the flapper, but also the quality of the def. And the def at our yard, I guess they test it when they get it in to make sure it's at the right pH level. That's what they told me when I got in and explained to them the situation, because they thought I put water in the def tank, and I was like, no, 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 no. No, I put two of the 2.5 gallon jugs of Def that I bought from Walmart, and so that is what occurred. So hopefully, like they said, they should have it fixed today, but I'll go back tomorrow morning because I scheduled myself to be available at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, and hopefully that fixes the issue. But anyways, that's the update. It's a bit of a long one for me, guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. I have to go to Walmart to get some groceries and some clothes. My shorts are starting to rip, and I need some new socks because I have like 3 pairs of socks. So, yeah, I need to get that. And I need to go get the Wi-Fi box traded out for the new one because I'm still using the Wi-Fi box that I had with my ex. He's allowing me to keep it since he doesn't need to. And he told me that they were having issues with it, and he asked me if I was having issues, and I said yes. And so he said go ahead and take it to T-Mobile and they'll update it to the new box because apparently the new box is better. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to T-Mobile when they open up at 10. And then we're going to go to Walmart, get groceries and clothes. And look at this little boy. Hi, baby. Hi. That's my big boy. Look at you. So big. Hey, big girl. You want to come here? You want huggins and lovins? You want to come here? Yeah. Who's my big baby? Oh. Oh, my God.